So just what have you seen from IU and, just dealing with Trace Jackson Davis again and
Right.
just kind of your thoughts on going into Saturday?
Yeah. Well, obviously they have a really good team. They have a lot of experience. With Xavier Johnson being out, it's allowed a lot of the other guys a lot more experience, a lot more opportunity. Hood Shafino is a really talented player and very dangerous. His last game at home, he was 6 for 7 from 3 against Ohio State, and just someone that you got to be with, at all time, especially if he gets it going. And then Trace Jackson Davis is just having one of the best years in college basketball. And just hard to deal with, whether he has the ball in the perimeter or he has the ball in the mid post or the low post, and you just got to know where he is at all time. His ability to make kind of that second effort or that second jump is pretty impressive. So like when he misses, he normally gets it back or keeps it alive. Someone else can get it, but just got to know where he is at all times and stick with him. Like, don't give into it, don't foul him, don't just try to stay ahead of the play, because when you get behind plays, it's normally over.
Why have you guys had pretty good success against him during his career?
I think when he was younger, it was harder to deal with doubles. Some people didn't double him. We always have had such great respect for him, recruiting him and watching him devour people in high school and then leading into college. You just want somebody else to beat you at that time. Well, now he's much better at handling that. He's much better at passing, the schemes that they're using and what they do, really put you in a bind. You have to have a good double, or he's going to find that guy cross court, or he's going to find the guy diving. But no, I think just earlier in his career it was just something that didn't happen all the time. Now it happens most of the time. You see it at Illinois. They didn't double him and he gets 35 points. Some other teams haven't doubled him, and he just kills you. He gets to the free throw line. He kind of gets everything that he wants. He's going to score points against you. It's just dependent on what you want to try to take away, with the effort being on try. Anytime you have a guy like that, you got to take things away, and you got to do the best that you can to try to limit his vision and limit his touches, and then not let him get second chance opportunities.
Obviously a rivalry game, but I think that's more for the fans than it is for your team. Is that kind of the message, is don't make this bigger than it is? It's the next game on the schedule.
Yeah, it's just trying to stick with what we've been doing all year in the game plan. Anytime you're playing someone for the first time, especially your younger guys, just knowing their personnel, knowing who can shoot, who can drive, who can do both, who's streaky. Then last year, we had a game, Finney was the one, we get Trace Jackson Davis in foul trouble, and then Finney comes in and plays just an unbelievable first half and makes that shot at the end. So we talk about that a lot, how sometimes guys can have big nights. Just don't let a guy coming off the bench who averaged 3 or 4 points to have a huge night against you. So you have to respect everybody and be prepared. But yeah, it's a great game. It's a great game for the fans. It's a great game, for both teams, and you're always excited to play your rival.
Go ahead.
Shafino's a bigger guard that's good with the ball in his hands. How do you handle that as a defense?
Oh, you got to try to get into him, not let him get comfortable. And when he drives and can attack the rim, or just drive to get to his spots and get pull-ups, he gets in that rhythm. You just got to try to make it hard for him and not let him get angles and use size against him or use quickness against him, depending on who's guarding him from us. But he's a good player, and getting into that rhythm for him also opens up a lot of things for other people. So it's a real important matchup for us.
Defensively, what have you seen from IU when going against bigger lineups?
Well, they're a good defensive team, and they do a good job of keeping the ball out of the paint. They do a good job of overhelping and not letting the ball get in there off penetration. You have to be able to play under control and move the basketball when they overhelp. And but they do a great job, defensively. They really want to keep that basketball. A lot of people like to attack the middle. They do a great job of holding their guy at the nail and really trying to stop that type of action. So it's going to be important for us that when they're being that stingy and that aggressive, just to probe the defense and move the basketball.
Staying with that a little bit, obviously, you talk about Trace Jackson Davis and everything he provides from just a scoring and a rebounding perspective, but just his ability to kind of be a disruptor on the defensive end, blocking shots, things like that. Does that add an extra wrinkle for, Braden and Zach and picking and choosing their spots?
Yeah, you have to know where he is defensively. He does a good job in ball screen defense of ignoring you and kind of playing possum and then just luring you into thinking you have a layup, and then he blocks it and they go the other end. He's very experienced in some areas around the rim. He tries to make you feel comfortable, and he's just walking you into a trap so he can block your shot. So very good instincts, very good instincts. And so you have to be aware of him, but when you get an angle, you got to get to him. If you don't get to him, then he's normally going to get those.
Do you consider putting Mason in the starting lineup, or do you not want to disrupt the rotation at all?
I think about it. Like obviously, he had a great game last game, so we'll see as time goes on. We'll see.
Is Big Ten better when IU and Purdue are both having good seasons? I mean, obviously when Purdue is, in your eyes, that's great.
Right. That would be for someone who looks at it a little differently. Yeah. When people say that, always amazes me. Like, it's not good if the Big Ten has other teams that are good. Like, I think if you got 14 teams, I think everybody would think that. So, yeah, we're not collecting baseball cards.